Hello, beautiful humans! Live from New York, it's Monday night. How are we feeling tonight? I am, as always, your host, Rory Kelly, and I have with us today Rupert Waits, tuning in from Manhattan. Rupert is someone I've had the pleasure of working with a couple of times before. Really like a musician's musician, a really legit guitar player, folk singer songwriter, and just released a really great album of English traditional style folk songs, but they're original folk songs that I had the pleasure of being a part of a couple of the songs and getting to be there for that first live broadcast of the kind of album virtual release show, because that's what we're doing now.
Right.
So I'm really, really glad to have you here, Rupert. I know you've also got an in-person, like what a concept, in-person gig coming up on Long Island this coming Sunday. So I hope you'll share with us the details where people can find you. But
Sure.
everyone, right now, if you're tuned in, I want to just direct you to the links down below. You can go buy Rupert's music at rupertwaitsmusic.com. You can throw some love in the virtual tip jar at paypal.me/RupertWaits1. Remember, it's important to feed the musicians, and musicians eat dollars. It's like Panda Bears. We have a limited diet, so we really could use your help by throwing some dollars in that virtual tip jar. Feed the musicians.
Thank you.
All right, I see some humans tuned in. I am going to take my leave of you and leave you in Rupert's qualified hands. Farewell, friends.
Thank you. Hello, good evening, and welcome. I want to say thank you to Rory for that introduction and for inviting me on the show this evening. It's a pleasure to play for you all. I can't see you, but I have to imagine you and feel your love. So my gig that's coming up is at the Michael Braceland Gallery in East Patchogue on Sunday. It's 4 p.m, a special late matinee time, Sunday night, this coming March the 6th. Do please come down and say hello. So we're going to start with a little love song, and I want to say thank you again to Rory for having me, and thank you all for being here this evening. This is called I'm Amazed. I don't need the mountains, and I don't need the trees. I don't need the splendor of the sun that shines on me. I don't need the treasures I'll bury it out at sea. I don't need the lovely gardens of antiquity. I've traveled far, and all that I've seen left me cold, twisted and scarred. Nothing could move in my soul. But I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Dreams claw at me in the night, they whisper of tragedies not yet come to light. We must hold on to these precious times when I'm here by your side, and you are by mine. Out on the road, though you are far from me, everywhere I go, wonder is all that I see. It's better than the mountains, it's better than the trees, it's better than the splendor of the sun that shines on me, better than the treasures I buried out at sea, better than the mighty temples of antiquity. hope it stays with me now, and all the days of my life. 'Cause I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now, and all the days of my life. Thank you. One of the nice things about playing online is that you can't hear any applause, so you don't know if the applause is tepid or rapturous. You just have to imagine that it's deafening, and it always is, because you can't hear it. Okay, carrying rapidly on here. I'm going to be playing until about 8 p.m, and then Rory's going to take over. So let me tell you about myself. The name is Rupert, and the second name is Waits. So the whole thing reads Rupert Waits. Well, what does Rupert wait for? Here's a song about waiting, and I don't mean waiting tables, though I've done that too. This is called Waiting to Begin. When I was a little boy, the world was like a Christmas toy, life a game that I was sure to win, and I'm waiting to begin. Work hard and get ahead, in time all things will come, they said. Life was only so much spin, and I'm waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. I'm waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. I never crossed the starting line. The race has left me far behind. I'm no longer in my prime. Still the silent voices sing. They're calling from that promised land, stolen from me by some sleight of hand. Life's a shadow of the one that I planned, until I find the real thing. I'm waiting to begin, waiting to begin, still waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. Days come and go, and all I really know is that I'm slowly getting older. No more time to waste to find the joy of the race. It's already halfway over. Let me do all that I intend. I'm gonna give all that I have to spend. The road is rushing towards the end, but I'm waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. We're waiting to begin. Still waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. I'm going to look at some of the comments now that we're getting, just in case people want me to turn up or turn down or leave the room. I think clap, clap, clap from Rory Kelly. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, lovely. So the sound is okay, I'm assuming, for the moment. So let me press on with one of my oldest songs. It's about 25 years ago now, when I was about 3, give or take, a very mature 3. And this is really about the moment when the rain that we've been suffering for months and years is finally over. And I think we're beginning to get that kind of feeling right now as we look around us, even though the news from the Ukraine is about as bad as it could possibly be. We've just come through one lot of rain. Maybe there's another lot on the horizon. But in the meantime, World is full of promise once more, and this is called After the Rain. The eagle shakes his feathers dry after the rains are gone, and makes his home the wide blue sky after the rains are gone, and colors waiting to amaze are open to the gentle rays of the day to come after the rains are gone. And we will walk in clearer lights, and after the rains are gone, and we will see with clearer sights, and after the rains are gone, and when the rain dries on our cheeks to leave us on our mountain peak, then we will hear our vision speak. Of joy and pain, morning bird will sing again, although the night was long. And if no trace of us remains to say we walked in love's domain, this will be our song after the rains are gone. Shakes her feathers dry, and after the rains are gone, and makes her home the clear blue sky after the rains are gone, after the rains are gone. That was After the Rains. Excuse me. So I'd like to do some songs from some of my earlier albums. This song comes from my CD which I released 2 years ago, 2020. Time does fly. In the middle of the pandemic, and the big event that had just happened to me, which I can now share with you, is that I became a father. Yes, it's never too late. And my son Gabriel was born at Mount Sinai Hospital on the Upper West Side in New York City. March 2020. Not a good time or place to be born, but that's what happened. And as I was going in and out of the hospital, I would pass through these enormous revolving doors. I would go in and someone would come out. But this being just on the cusp of the pandemic, I was well aware of the fact, this being a hospital as well, that not everybody who went in to those doors ever came out unless they were carried out feet first. So it put me in the mind of the carousel of life, should we say. I was thinking of the image of the horses on a carousel going round and round, rather as we do in life. We meet and we part. We meet and we part. Too soon. It's often too soon. So this is a little song that I wrote for my son Gabriel. He's a little bit too young yet, perhaps to appreciate the song, but I hope that the day will come when he's of age to enjoy it. And this is called The Carnival Waltz. All the pretty horses go round and round, painted in colors so gay, prancing and dancing while the and so many people are standing in line, waiting to take a ride. Some may be happy and some may be hurting inside. As long as the wheel keeps turning, we'll watch them all go by. Some say hello and some are waving goodbye. For every face that is passing from us, another will always come round. And all we've lost someday will surely be found. Round and around they go, round and around they go, round and around they go. All the pretty horses go up and down, painted in their colors so gay, prancing and dancing while the music plays. Every good friend that we've lost on the way someday will come to the sound, and we are all riding the merry-go-round. Round and round we go, round and round we go, round and round we go. That was the Carnival Waltz from my 2020 CD, Lamentations. Now here is the title song of my 2020 CD, Lamentations. I came up with that title about a year before we went into the pandemic, and suddenly there we were in the middle of a global pandemic and we were doing an awful lot of lamenting. The title seemed prophetic. Maybe next time I should call my album Winning the Lottery. Anyway, this is called Lamentations. Once I was lovely, once I was young, once I rejoiced in the light of the sun. Once the pure waters flowed straight to my well. Now I sing lamentations to heaven or hell. The keys of the kingdom were thrown at my feet. A table was laden with all I could eat. Now I beg them to feed me through the bars of a cell, and I sing lamentations from heaven or hell. far away, to all the dim voices that whisper and pray. Show us your mercy, tell us all shall be well, while we sing lamentations from heaven on high. Once I was golden, once I was young, and I danced in the light of the moon and the sun. Now I've grown weary of the sound of the bell, and I sing lamentations to heaven on high. And I sing lamentations to heaven on high. Lamentations. My CD is available for sale for purchase at rupertwaitesmusic.com on the Buy Music page. Here's another song from my 2020 CD. This is actually kind of a love song. It's a love song to a freeway, one of my favourite freeways, Highway number 1 in California. Let me take you to California in imagination. Let us see the blue waves of the Pacific and the green of the olive trees as we drive down Highway number 1. This is called California 1. Heading out on Highway 1, headed out, say you'll come with me, just you and me. Down the coast she rolls and winds, while the California sunlight shines on the sea. I can feel the mountain breeze, hear it singing through the redwood trees. I can taste the sweet, sweet wine, see the ocean move to its own time. Waves are breaking in the sun, I'm going where the endless rivers run. Oh, how they run on California 1. While we are standing still, time just advances over those blue, blue hills. Life surely dances, so much we lose and spill, wasting our chances to be free. I can feel the mountain breeze, hear it singing through the redwood trees. I can taste the sweet, sweet wine, see the ocean move to its own time. I'm heading out on Highway 1, headed out if you'd only come. We've just begun on California 1. California 1. Well, I hope that captured a little bit of the warmth of California for you all. It's California 1. So, talking of California, this song is based on a true story, and it concerns a poor family who came from California and walked all the way across America on foot. Walked on foot, yes, that's kind of comes with the territory. But they travelled on foot all the way across America during the days of the Dust Bowl Depression back in 1932. So this song kind of tells their story. based on a true story, concerns a poor family who were walking across America during the days of the Dust Bowl, and it's really a hymn of thanks to the women of that period, the strong women, the mothers, the daughters, the sisters, the wives, who just kept the show on the road, literally. So even though this is based on a true story, it sounds like a John Steinbeck novel, but it actually did take place, and this is my song based upon it, and this is called Days of Mercy. Daddy lost his job one day when he wouldn't take a cut in pay. He couldn't find another place, even one that paid him less. So he settled into his easy chair with his dog-eared magazines until the bank took back our house. And my mama only screamed when she was a little girl. She had a dream, she found a pearl hidden in the pocket of her pants, but the pants were full of holes, and when she woke the pearl was gone. And she was only 6 years old. Hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. But when the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. So we sold up all we owned, we headed east in a touring car. We found a place with a plot of land down in windy Arkansas. My daddy worked on the lady's farm, my mama heard it said he didn't work that lady's fields as much as he worked her bed. So she packed a cardboard case with a single change of clothes, took the baby on her hip and told us all to follow close. And we began the long walk home to the California coast. Hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Sun. My mama led me to a stream and dipped a cloth to bathe my head. We walked all through New Mexico, and in the migrant workers' camp I learned all there was to know about the kindness of the poor. And though the children dressed in rags, they gave us everything they had. Bags of sweets with ready smiles, fresh tortilla around the fire, in the huts of rusty iron. When the baby started crying, hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. So we finally reached LA, beside a lake in Lincoln Park. A man was standing all alone, throwing crumbs to feed the ducks. When you gonna take those children home? Asked the man, and my mama said, we just walk 2,000 miles, we'll make it yet with a little luck. And then the man just looked away, he said he guessed his turn had come. He pulled out $2 bills, enough to see us right, for a can of pork and beans and some shelter for the night. Hold on tight, my mama said, and keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun. Put your faith in the road ahead. Days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage it's very hot. Days of mercy will come again. Days of Mercy. Okay, so we're pressing swiftly on. Oops. If you'd like to buy a CD, you will be rewarded in musical heaven, if not before. RupertWatesMusic.com. Buy music. Let's read some of these comments that people are making here. I had to get my glasses on for that, unfortunately. Right. Thanks everybody for listening. Do appreciate your presence here, virtual though it is. Going to do something different now. Going to do a instrumental. This was actually composed by J.S. Bach, and I'm going to go straight into one of my own instrumentals. The Bach piece is called Jesu, Joy of Man's Desire, and my piece is called I'll Never Tire of Looking in Your Eyes. So here they go. Join them together, going from one straight into the other. Here goes, and good luck. Jesu, Joy of Man's Desire, followed by I'll Never Tire of Looking in Your Eyes. Now, I'd like to tell you about Stacey's non-profit. A non-profit. Stacey's the CEO and executive director, founding director of Realise Your Beauty, which exists to help young kids, mostly young girls, but some young boys too, who have problems with their self-image. Maybe they're struggling with problems of weight, maybe they're struggling with issues of gender identity, whatever it might be. And her organisation exists to help these young kids believe that they are beautiful just as they are, and not as the world perhaps would like them to be. And that's why it's called Realise Your Beauty. They have to realise their own inner beauty. And it can be something secret to them. The world doesn't even need to know about it, perhaps. So I decided to write a song for all the girls in particular of Realise Your Beauty. I envisaged a desert island where a young girl lived for 3 days and 3 nights. And no one ever came to visit her. And there was no social media, no Facebook, no Twitter. She decided she was going to make her desert island a beautiful place. This is called The Ballad of a Brown-Eyed Girl. She was a young girl with eyes of brown, lived 3 days all alone on an island where the wind and the rain made a pitiful sound, and the sun and the sea endlessly pound the rocks on the shore and the white sand. On the first day she wrote with a stick in the sand words of welcome to all passing sailors, but as evening fell on the very same day, the tide coming in washed her words away, while the light of the moon grew paler. On the second day she stood at her window and sang a beautiful song to the morning, but no one was there on her island to hear, and the beautiful song that she sang disappeared in the sound of the rain that kept falling. On the third day she woke and she planted the seed of a rose that would bloom in her garden, but the sun beat down and it withered the rose, for she'd chosen the place where no river flows, in a land that never gives pardon. And though none never read what she wrote in the sand, or heard what she sang from her window, though the rose that she planted died in her hand, for 3 days the cruel world was a lovelier land, for the brown-eyed girl had made it so. She was a young girl with eyes of brown, lived 3 days all alone on an island where the wind and the rain make a pitiful sound, and the sun and the sea endlessly pound the rocks on the shore and the white sand. Thanks everybody, that was called Ballad of a Brown-Eyed Girl. Now we're going to do some new songs. Of course most of them are new to you, I'm sure, but these are new songs to me because I've only just written them. These come from my most recent CD, which, as Rory mentioned, was released this month. So it's pretty new. We recorded it last November, actually, on the last day of November. Went into the studio, got it all down in one afternoon. Then we then added a violin the next day, so we had 2 days to do it, but it's essentially done in 1 day.
at my favourite recording studio where I've recorded the last 4 CDs that I've done. And that is the Workshop East in Huntington, where the presiding genius is none other than Kevin Kelly, the best engineer that I've ever worked with, and I've worked with many over my long and distinguished career. Kevin is by far the best, also one of the most sympathetic people you'll ever meet in every way, not just as an engineer. So here's to Kevin, if you're listening. Thanks for the great work. This is from the new CD. I based a lot of the songs on old English folk tales, as Rory mentioned. This is not based on any particular folk tale, it's just a kind of generic folk song, if you like. England being an island, a lot of songs and folk tales are about the sea. This is one of them. So this is an original song, as are all these songs, with a sort of nod towards however many English traditional folk songs you care to name, which feature the sea. This is called To the Sea.
Can you tell me where my true love lies? What's that to me? What's that to me? Did she pass by on her morning ride? Follow the river to the sea. Were there wildflowers in her chestnut hair? What's that to me? What's that to me? It was for my sake she then did wear. Follow the river to the sea. There she waits on the sun-warm side, while the waves rise and fall, where the old ruined castle stands, and silence gazes from its walls. There she'll wait as the sailors make land, each with treasures galore. They will show her the pearls in their hands that they have brought from distant shores. And in time to come she'll not grow old. What's that to me? What's that to me? For a rusty coin she'll trade her soul. Follow the river to the sea. Can you tell me where my sweetheart lies? What's that to me? What's that to me? Did she pass by on her morning ride? Follow the river to the sea. Follow the river to the sea. Follow the river to the sea.
Called To the Sea. So now I'd like to do a song based on an old First World War story, a true story, which I read. I wanted to do something about the First World War because it's very much a part of English popular memory, a very traumatic memory for all of us in England. And we lost the cream of a generation for no discernible purpose, as far as I can see. So anyway, what happened was that the men of a local regiment in a village not far from London went down to the local pub on the eve of their departure for the front in France, and they paraded their new uniforms, of which they were so terribly proud, and they said to their loved ones, their sweethearts and their wives, "Here is a florin," which was a silver coin worth about 10 English pennies in those days, quite a lot of money. They said, "Here is a florin. I want you to nail this florin to the beam of this pub that we love so much. And when I return from the war, which I surely will do, we'll reclaim our florin and we'll buy drinks all round." So that's what they did. 110 years later, you go to that pub, look up at the ceiling, you'll see the nail holes, which represent all the young men from that village who came home and reclaimed their florin. 25 silver coins still up in the beams of that pub represent all the young men who never came home. And that is their war memorial, those 25 silver coins. But of course I had to write a song about that. So this is called a florin to the beam. A florin, of course, is a unit of currency worth about 10 English pennies. A florin to the beam. Drink up and dry your eyes, nail a florin to the beam of the old bricklayer's arms and leave it there for all to see. Drink up and dry your eyes, and on the day when I come home, it will buy a high old time for you and me. Promise me that you'll remember me in every letter that you send to me. This war will never make an end of me, as long as you are still a friend to me. Drink up and dry your eyes, nail a florin to the beam of the old bricklayer's arms and leave it there for all to see. Drink up and dry your eyes, and on the day when I come home, it will buy a high old time for you and me. See your eyes again, that coin will be the one you never spend. No black ringed notice in the Times for me, one silver penny will do fine for me. Drink up and dry your eyes, nail a florin to the beam for the old bricklayer's arms and leave it there for all to see. Drink up and dry your eyes, and on the day when I come home, it will buy a high old time for you and me. We'll have a high old time, wait and see. Let's go a florin to the beam. These songs are available on my new CD, which is called For the People, and as Rory mentioned earlier on, she actually features on some of the songs. I was lucky enough to be able to persuade Rory to come down and sing second lead and backing voice on the CD, as did Stacey, and as did a wonderful violinist called Adriana Matteo. So there are some guest appearances on the CD, but it's mostly just me and my guitar. If you'd like to buy the CD, please go to rupertwatesbuymusic.com. My CDs do have nutritional value in that if you buy one, I will eat, so please do remember that. I want to dedicate that song, by the way, before I forget, and who could forget, what's going on in the Ukraine right now as we speak. All the soldiers, I want to dedicate this song to all the soldiers who have given their lives or who are ready to give their lives in a worthy cause. This is for all of you. This is another song which I took based loosely on the First World War, on the backdrop of the First World War. It's not based on any particular story, it just uses the First World War as a kind of a backdrop. And in it, a soldier, I think an officer, is remembering an evening he spent with his beloved, listening to the song of the nightingale. So this is called Hills of Blue Heather, or the Nightingale's Song, for all the soldiers. And as the nightingales sing as sweetly as ever, in the hills of blue heather where you and I lay, and the music he made filled the darkness with sound, until the night found the first light of day. Is the springtime as lovely still as I remember, when morning had broken and I held you near, as we stood together in the hills of blue heather, and the nightingale's song it rang in our ears. Now my days are laden with the colours of autumn, the ground we have fought on is brown as my clothes, and the night's only music is the prayer of the young men, waiting and wondering whose blood will flow, for the flowers of England shall wither. And I hear as the nightingale offers his breast to the thorn, killed by him
that alien country far from the land where they were born. And I will see you again, as lovely as ever, in the hills of blue heather, one morning in May. And the church bells will ring so loud they will drown all other sounds that welcome the day. Though my eyes are grown older and fires have grown colder, I will see you once more, unchanged by the years, as we stood together in the hills of blue heather, and the nightingale's song it rang in our ears, and the nightingale's song it rang in our ears. Thanks, folks. I'd like to do a non-original tune now, just take the tempo up a little bit. Good enough for jazz. This is actually written by one of my favourite guitarists, Leo Kottke. If you see him, will you please call him on the way? He's been ripping off my style for most of my lifetime, in fact. This is written by Leo Kottke. It's called The Fisherman. That was written by Leo Kottke. So we've got time for maybe one more song, or one and a half maybe. I want to thank Rory for inviting me to play for you this evening. Thanks, Rory. Stick around for Rory's set. She's going to be playing after a little break. She'll do another hour of her own material. And it's excellent, as I'm sure you all know. Rory Kelly. Thanks for listening. If you'd like to put a tip in my tip jar, the details are at the bottom of the screen there. Please do help a wandering musician survive a few more weeks anyway. We all need help at times, and this goes out for all of us. This is a song that I wrote for some friends of mine who were going through a very hard time. This is called Prayer, and it goes out for everybody this evening when they don't have a prayer, and that includes all those people in the Ukraine tonight. Prayer. Here's to you and here's to me. Here's to all we've ever seen, to all to come and all that's been. Here's to all we ever shared, to our fathers and to our heirs. haven't got a prayer. Here's to the young and here's to the old, to the body and to the soul, to all whose stories are still untold. Here's to the lightness and here's to the weight, to the gay and to the straight, to all who died too soon or were born too late. Here's to our enemies and here's to our friends, to the river that never ends. Here's to the sinners and here's to the born again. Here's to the black and here's to the white, to the left and to the right. Here's to the evening and here's to the morning light, coming into sight. To the rich and to the poor, here's to the sea and here's to the shore. Here's to all people everywhere, when they haven't got a prayer, 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 when they haven't got a prayer. Here's to the cop and here's to the priest, to the west and to the east. Here's to all that ring to the feast. Here's to the lion and here's to the lamb. Here's to the beast and the heart of man. Here's to the house on rock and the house on sand. Here's to the heart and to the head, to the living and to the dead. Here's to the joy and to the tears we shed. Here's to the first and here's to the last, to the future and to the past. Here's to all who've ever raised their glass anytime we ask. To the moon and to the sun, to all we've lost and all we won. Here's to all people everywhere, when you haven't got a prayer, 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 when you haven't got a prayer.
Over to Rory, everybody. Thanks for having me. Have a great evening. See you all again soon. Thank you.
So wonderful. Thank you so much, Rupert. Everybody, please make sure you go down to visit the links below. Check out rupertwaitemusic.com. Buy some of those nutritious CDs. You know, it's a really good idea to prevent vitamin deficiency at this time. And make sure you throw some love in that virtual tip jar. I just put another link in the chat for that. Rupert, thank you so much for joining us. It's been such a pleasure to get to hear you today.
Thanks, Rory. All the best. Yeah, bye, everybody.
Thanks, friends. All right, so you know what to do, everybody. Stay here. I am going to end this stream and start a fresh stream, so it's a great time to take a little bathroom break, to get yourself a drink of water or something more sassy, and I will be singing to you in just one moment. Bye.